Mary Massey on Island Girls Rock. Mary is so much. Where do I begin? Mom, wife, entrepreneur, life strategist, fitness coach, philanthropist, and so much more. I would also add that she's a great dancer, but she'd probably disagree because she's humble, grateful, and shy. But she is a go-getter and a great friend, as many would agree. Groove with me and get to know Mary Massey on this episode of Island Girls Rock. She's inspired me for years and just may inspire you too. Groove with us.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I'm here to tell you that Island Girls rock and Jersey girls too.
And hi, Mary.
Hi, CeCe.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I invited you on with me tonight because I have been quite curious about how all of the inspiring and phenomenal women in my life and around my life, even the ones I don't know, have been thriving and surviving throughout this new and chaotic norm we have. So let me start by asking you, just as Mary, what is keeping Mary going and keeping you so inspired to inspire others?
Well, that's a loaded question because we're all so different. And I guess I should first ask you, how much time do you have?
As much as you need. We're going to take out the best parts.
Yes. So basically, I have no choice. Like the way I see it, I don't think about the things that I need to do. I just do them. I just do them because that's so ingrained in me. And like the quote goes, you know, a body in motion stays in motion. And even though we had this unexpected thing happen to us, a lot of people felt like they were lost, like they were stuck. Of course, there was that whole grieving process because we all lost a part of our lives. You know, we lost our routines. We lost our precious social activities. So you can either choose to stay in that space, or you can say, I'm going to keep going because this is just one thing that happened. That doesn't mean that everything has to stop. So for me, it was just not even overthinking what was going on. I embraced it, I accepted it. And I think that sometimes we have a hard time accepting the truth, accepting that something has changed, and accepting that certain things are beyond our control. So for me, I take control of what I can. I take control of my own environment, and I don't let what's going on externally affect me.
Spoken like a true life strategist, which will segue me right into my next question. You wear many hats. Mom, boss, entrepreneur, life strategist, fitness instructor. One of your, it seems, your joys in life is to help others, help busy moms, busy women gain the confidence back that they need because they're so busy focusing on others that they're not focusing on themselves. Tell us a little bit about what a life strategist entails and how do you fuel that to give out so much of yourself?
It's similar to therapy, but not quite as intricate, because in therapy, they focus on your past experiences and any sort of trauma that has gotten you to where you are now.
Right.
What a life coach, life strategist does is they see where you are right now and help you to where you want to be, where you want to go. So what I like to tell people is that you have a personal trainer to help you with your fitness, to help you build muscle, to help you lose weight. A life coach, what I do is I help you with your mindset. So you have to have a certain amount of mental, psychological fortitude in order to be able to navigate the ups and downs of life. Right? So that's what I do is I give people the tools that they need in order to be able to deal with relationship problems, with their weight loss issues, confidence issues, self-esteem. So all of that is actually up here. So once we learn to take hold of this, everything else follows. You begin to see life in a different light.
So adding, I guess your your other joy and your other gift, your other job, I would say, plays right into that as well, and that's fitness. You are an avid Zumba instructor. You love it. I watch you all the time. It's like a big party all the time. I mean, are you able to encapsulate that? Do you bring those things together at all with your life strategy coaching? How does that work? Or do you keep it totally separate?
Yeah, so that's kind of how it all segued into my coaching practice. So because of what I do, Zumba is like therapy. If you've never taken a Zumba class, it's like a big dance party, and we incorporate little fitness moves. Before you know it, you're burning calories, you're sweating, and you're feeling good, and then the weight begins to melt off over time.
Yes.
Besides all that, there's that whole community aspect. You get to meet certain people. But I found myself between that, which led to personal training and nutrition, kind of guiding my clients in a different way.
Yes.
Because I was increasing my personal development as well. It was my own personal journey, and whatever I was able to learn, I was kind of just giving back to them.
Right.
And one day it just clicked, and I thought, well, people are always telling me that I should coach them with their mindset and all that. Why don't I look a little bit more into it? Because I was already giving them like little bits of, nuggets of mindset training. And that's how it kind of all went along. So some of my Zumba participants have become my coaching clients as well.
Yeah.
And the both kind of go hand in hand, but it's also separate in a way, because I do have clients that I haven't even met in person that found me through social media, which is really cool. They see something, and then all of a sudden we're talking, and we're having.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, were you were doing virtual Zumba before COVID?
No.
No, okay, because I guess that's where I found one of our parallels as well. We decided to make our show virtual because of the environment, and I've watched you make that natural evolution as well. So tell us a little bit about your encounter with that in the beginning. Did you have like any, I would say, any mess ups when you first started, like not connecting, people being disconnected, power going out? How was it for you getting started until you got used to the process?
Yeah, it was a transition for sure. Now, I used Zoom all the time for business.
Yes.
For business presentations, all that. And then when my gym closed, I work at a big gym, and we basically shut down from one day to the next.
Yes.
And a lot of I cried. I did a Facebook Live. I do a lot of these like Facebook Lives all the time, and I have a pretty big audience. So I had to go on Facebook Live and tell my people that we weren't going to be able to dance together anymore. And it's one thing to think about it, but to verbalize it, like all the emotion came out, and I was like really heavy. So I immediately thought, hey, listen, we're going to go virtual. So I use Zoom for business. Let's see if Zoom will work for Zumba.
Yeah.
So I was basically one of the first that did that. Like from one day to the next, I was on Zoom. The very first Zoom class, I had so many people joining the Zoom, I didn't know what to do.
I know.
Okay. All right. So I knew about, like sharing music, but I was sharing the entire iTunes screen, and I didn't realize that there were like different ways to do this. So I had to educate myself on that. And I'm the type of person that won't ask a question. I'll research and I'll find the answer myself.
Yeah.
So by the third class, we had it down, and now it's seamless. Everything is in sync. I was trying like all these different things and overcomplicating the situation. But even though we're back to doing outdoor classes now, I still keep some virtual classes because after teaching so many years, there's people that come and go and they move away. So when they saw that I was doing Zumba on Zoom, all of a sudden they were able to dance with me again. So that's why I'm keeping at least one Zoom class a week so that everybody can still continue with me.
And this is a prime example of how there is some good that's coming out of the new changes, because I've heard time and time again since I've began these interviews that It's not been all bad. I mean, these were the exact words that have come out of some of the other ladies' mouths when I've interviewed them. You know, CeCe, it's not been all bad. I found myself evolving into this. This has opened a new avenue, and regardless of where we go from here, some of these changes are going to remain permanent with us, and they're going to be good. Tell us a little bit about being a mom boss. How are you managing it all?
Oh my gosh.
We all do that look. I know that look. Only mothers do that look.
I have to say that I'm very blessed because I wouldn't be able to do what I do the way that I do it without my husband. So I have to give him props
Yes.
because he is one of the most patient people on the planet. Anyone else a long time ago. And the reason why is because I'm so independent, right? And he knows that this whole entrepreneurial thing is so ingrained in me
Yeah.
that I must do my own thing. I don't have to work. I don't have to. But this is like my work is my life, really.
Yes.
And I find it hard to even go on vacation sometimes and like force myself to slow down, right? But being a mom is a whole different animal because there's a lot of guilt that comes along with it when you're trying to build your own business, when you're trying to build a practice, when I have to leave and go teach a class and they want to spend time with me. So it was a lot of juggling and balancing and also learning through it and just being okay with doing my own thing because the kids are not going to be around forever, right? One
No.
day they're going to go to college and they're going to leave me. So I have to be conscientious of that. And I also have to be conscientious of the fact that they're only little once, that
Yes.
they do grow and that eventually, yeah, and that eventually they will be gone, right? So seeing me, they've grown up seeing me and my routine and my entrepreneurial ventures. Like they're used to it. They're used to it. So what I say to women who are just starting out, who are trying to do their own thing, is I have to say to them, just be patient. Be patient, do a little bit at a time. Don't feel guilty for wanting more out of your life, right?
Right.
My identity is not a mom.
Right.
I am Mary. I wear hats. I am a mother, but I'm many things rolled into one. And my kids are precious. They've become more and more of a priority lately. I've slowed down quite a bit and I just love being home now. So you have to learn how to organize your time. You have to know how to balance it all. And it takes time to get there. You know,
Yes,
it,
it
it takes
does.
time. There's going to be time. Yeah, there are times when I had to stay up really late because that was my only quiet time. I'm not an early person. I'm a night owl. So I prefer to stay up later and then, do whatever I need to do during the day with them. But it was definitely a struggle, and I'm not going to say it's easy because, I have missed out on a lot, but there's also a lot that I've gained.
Um, I know that you
Yeah.
wear many hats, and I know you are a fitness enthusiast. And one of the things that has always attracted me to your social pages are the recipes that you post. I've used quite a few of them, particularly the ones with avocados. Tell us a little bit about how you experiment in the kitchen. You make it look so easy. Some things that you use, I'm like, I had this in the kitchen. Why didn't I think to do it? There's a lot of times where I've only had oatmeal for breakfast, but I've had some things that I've seen you post, and I'm like, some people are just gifted at this. How do you simplify things in terms of recipes and break it down so easily for us to put it together?
Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today I want to share a very special recipe with you. Every time I use this marinade on chicken or steak, everybody loves it. So today I'm going to make extra to give away to somebody very special because she loves it and she tried making it on her own, but it didn't come out as well. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to need, and there is one specific ingredient that you are going to need, and without this the flavor is just not going to be the same. this is called ají panca. Ají panca is a Peruvian pepper. It's not spicy. It's got a little smoky flavor. And this you can find, if you're in New Jersey, you can find it at ShopRite or any ethnic store. If you can see the brand here, it's Peru Food. I know it's kind of, it's a mirror image, so you can't see it. But it's Peru Food or Inca Food, and you can find this in a jar already. In Peru, we normally buy it dry and then we soak it and put it in the blender. So this is the main ingredient for this marinade. Without this, you got nothing.
Well, I keep it as simple as possible. I'm not a gourmet cook or anything, but I did get my start very young.
Yeah.
And I come from a long line of cooks. You know, nobody's a professional cook, but we like to experiment in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And once you have the basic down, it's easier to build from that.
Yes.
So I try to keep it healthy. I keep it delicious. I'm not somebody who's on a diet, ever. You know, but I love good food. So that's something that I teach, well, my son. My daughter, not so much, but my son loves to follow me to the kitchen.
Awesome.
He's 8 and he likes to, you know, cut up the mushrooms and all the things that I never ate as a kid.
Yeah.
But because of my change in my lifestyle, like they've grown up with it. So they embrace a lot of these things as well. So yeah, you just got to get, you know, experimental. And if it works out, great. If not, if it doesn't taste good, then you know you won't do it again. Right?
Exactly. Okay, I'm just gonna throw one at you, and you just tell me what it means. Rising Bella.
Oh, Rising Bella. Rising Bella. I actually started that because I have been involved with other you know, types of companies in the past, right?
Yeah.
Because of what I do with fitness and nutrition. What went hand in hand with that were kind of like nutritional supplements. I try to keep everything all natural. So a year or so ago, I found myself wanting to start a new venture. Now, there's a quote out there that says that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Okay, so whether it's investments or products that they sell or other types of businesses, I've always been the type to kind of diversify.
I'm counting mine in my head now. How many?
Exactly. So if one thing doesn't work out, then you try something else. I'm somebody who doesn't necessarily overthink things. If something is working well, fine, I keep it. If it's not working well, then I have no problem dropping it.
Right.
You know, you just have to keep trying. And that's an entrepreneurial aspect of mine that I just keep trying. So Rising Bella came about because I thought, okay, well, I'm not really into I love to travel, but I don't want to sell anything related to travel. I have insurance and financial stuff, but I don't really want to sell anything related to that because there's so many different companies. You don't have to start your own business right from the ground up. You can be an affiliate marketer. You can be a direct seller. So that's basically what Bellamy is. It's a company that's founded by a woman. So everything that I do has to have purpose and meaning behind it. Right. So this, I saw on Instagram that this girl had posted this beautiful picture of a skincare product. And I was intrigued. I was looking for something out of the ordinary for me. And I'm not a super girly makeup artist person, nothing, you know, I'm very, very simple. I sweat a lot.
Yes.
So I was always very weary about trying things that would cause acne. I used to have a lot of cystic acne, so I had to make sure that I was always wearing the right type of products for my skin.
Yeah.
So I found this, and it kind of like changed my life. You know, I love the products, the whole culture behind it, woman-owned, Latina-owned, formulated from the ground up, etc. So that's what Rising Bella was all about. It's basically like me just becoming, you know, embracing my skin and beauty and everything that came with it at my age, right?
Okay.
Something that so many girls are into from an early age. I'm here like, oh, finally, like, oh, I have like a thing to put on here, lip color, you know? So that's what that's all about. It's a way to empower women and to help them create a side income if they choose to.
And the
So
product
it's been
is
great.
Bellamy. The product is Bellamy, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
I've seen some of it and it's beautiful. Zumba instructor. right? I see that in Zumba you play a lot of exotic and versatile music. Tell us about, you know, what the music means to you, because I watch you and it's more than just exercise. Um, you're dancing all the time on the bridge, in the yard, on the balcony, in the park, on Instagram. You dance and you move everywhere. Tell us what that particular style of exercise does for you.
Well, being Latina, I was born in Peru and my dad was everything. I lost my mom at a young age. So my dad became everything to me. So he was my first dancing partner. He took me to a dance club with a salsa band when I was 14. He passed away 13 years ago.
Sorry for your
So in
loss.
2007, thanks. In 2007, when he passed, I was just shattered. I was depressed out of my mind. My daughter was very young at the time. If I didn't have her, I would have locked myself in the closet and I wouldn't have come out. I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So I reluctantly started to get back to the gym. I started to, get on the treadmill again. And one day I was at my local YMCA and I saw a flyer for a Latin inspired fitness class. And I thought, oh, let me give this a try. I walked in, the music was the music that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So it just like lifted this cloud and it became my therapy. And every Zumba instructor is different. We have Zumba instructors all over the world. Everyone is different. But for me, I saw it as a way to share part of my identity, part of my Latina culture,
Yes.
right? And the salsa, the merengue, the reggaeton, we throw everything in there, and soca, reggae,
Yes.
samba. And it's such an amazing fusion. But what speaks to my soul the most is definitely salsa.
Yes.
That's like my first love. I feel it in my blood, and even if it's a complicated type of dance, I just embraced it. I love teaching it. And as Zumba instructors, we choose what kind of music we want to showcase in our classes,
Yeah.
as long as we stay with a specific formula, right? So for me, I always choose the music that makes me happy, the music that I danced with my dad.
Yes. Awesome.
So
Mary, uh, mom boss, life strategist, social seller, entrepreneur, Zumba instructor. I must ask you, what advice do you have out there for young women, especially for everyone, but for young women in particular right now, that had stuff about to take off, that had so much going on, and the way of the world has put a stop to that. The only way that they knew how to do it, they planned to go to college or to go on tour to music or to do something that required socialization in a different way. And some of them I'm finding are feeling stuck now. It's causing depression, it's causing them to lose hope. What do you have to say? Someone who still has so much going on, what do you have to say to them to make them understand that it doesn't end here and there is a new way to go forward?
well, basically, in a nutshell, we create our own reality, right? So sometimes we are the ones who have to psych ourselves out because nobody's going to do it for us. So if you have a dream in your heart, if you have a project that had to be put on hold, it's on hold. It's not over forever. It hasn't stopped. There are different ways to do things, always, always. And if one way doesn't work, don't give up, because you might be one step away from achieving that goal and you gave up prematurely, right?
Yes.
So I always say, if you're having any sort of um, problems with your mindset, or maybe you're feeling really unmotivated and unstuck, it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to be frustrated, right? It's okay to say to yourself, you know what, I'm just feeling like, oh, I can't get anywhere. I'm so sad. I'm so frustrated. I'm so angry. Those are your feelings and you have to acknowledge them. Like,
Yes.
I think that we just suppress so much because we have to be a certain way in front of other people. But what matters most is the truth that you hold inside of you. Like, who are you at your very core? Are you somebody who gives up, or are you somebody who just takes a break and says, okay, let's try again? Right? The most successful people are the ones who keep trying over and over and over and over again. So just think about what the reality is. Think about what it is that you can change and you can control, and try not to dwell so much over the things that are out of your control. Like, we don't know where this whole COVID thing is going, but what can you do right now to get a little bit closer to your goal, to your dreams?
With that being said, I want to thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Island Girls Rock. It's truly been a pleasure speaking with you about your life, taking inspirational notes from you, and we enjoyed having you here.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye.